What we want to talk about today is a very short segment on one of this district, which is district number 5. We find that D5 is right now in a very interesting position. Why is D5 so popular? Is because D5 has a lot of big guns right there. So it's rolling, recording, right? Confirm. Alright, now it's commercial break time. What's going to happen is that towards the end of next month, hopefully in the range of about November towards December, we will be launching a webinar to launch a row of freehold landed properties. And this is a soft launch for a developer to have a sneak preview of this brand new row of freehold landed properties with a mixture of corner terraces and semi-detached. And we think that this is going to be exciting. Just had a sneak preview of the facade of these brand new landed properties and it looks simply beautiful. And I think if you're a District 5 landed enclave lover and you want to live within the Pasir Panjang landed enclave, within walking distance to Haw Par Villa MRT station, as well as being in close proximity towards One North and Buona Vista, and that's where the tech hub Silicon Valley of Singapore is located at, I think it's going to be a very nice opportunity for your family to own. And the link to sign up for this webinar is right down below. So once you sign up, we'll contact you, and of course if you can leave your handphone number down below, we'll text you as well. So we hope to see you soon on that soft launch, and meantime, take care and back to Nuggets on the Go. Cheers. Great, so we're at Nuggets on the Go, and welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. What we want to talk about today is a very short segment on one of this district, which is district number 5, pertaining to landed properties right here in D5. And D5 has always been one of the smaller landed enclave. We find that D5 is right now in a very interesting position. The key reason is because over here at a smaller landed enclave, sometimes in terms of transaction volume is not as much as bigger landed enclaves like District 15 and District 19, especially if you are looking for maybe in the OCR segment or maybe in the RCR segment. And we're not talking about the prime region in terms of the D9, 10, 11 landed properties. So this time we're talking about a little bit more city fringe, a little bit more OCR. Let's just have a look at D5 in terms of its location. And one very interesting thing that you can notice just straight on from the map, I always personally like to use the street directory map because over here is one of the most obvious map that you can see in terms of MRT station positioning, where are the parks, where are the schools, and the building shapes. And it just seems a little bit more visually pleasing, easier for me to do research as well. So which is why you see in a lot of our new launch reviews, we have used street directory to a lot of advantage. So D5 is almost like the flip side of D15. So if you were to take out the entire Singapore map, we just flip over a mirror image, not exactly a mirror image, but it seems like District 15 is like east portion. This is a very popular district. And then when you flip over to the other side with the south side right in the middle, which is the MBS area, right on the flip side, that will be D5. And D5 is almost like the east in the west. Why is D5 so popular? Is because D5 has a lot of big guns right there. And what do I mean with big guns? Because you have NUS, you have NUH, you have the big brother One North, which is the Silicon Valley of Singapore. You also have towards the upper tier Holland Village. You also have the entire West Coast belt, and you have the upcoming transformation that's going to happen along the Greater Southern Waterfront, which is the start point while you're moving into D5 area. And of course, D5, there is a smaller population in terms of landed enclave pertaining particularly to the Pasir Panjang Hills landed enclave. Now, of course, there are small little pockets along Clementi, along Buona Vista as well. And thus, when we look at the entire District 5, is a slightly smaller district in terms of landed properties population, but it has a lot of interesting developments and story that is undergoing right now. Let's zoom back into what is surrounding the entire D5 and within D5. So within D5, you have NUS, you have One North, you also have a huge array of parks like Cambridge Park, you have West Coast Park, you have the sea as well. The Tuas ports are going to be shifted all the way towards Tuas. And thus, when that entire region, in terms of the Pasir Panjang terminals, are being cleared within the next 10 years, this is going to be a very interesting area because that's going to clear up the seafront area. You have Clementi. Clementi has always been known like the university town. Thus, when a lot of people, they are looking for properties around the NUS region, they typically will go for Clementi area. They will also go for Buona Vista area. They'll go for Dover area. They they'll come to Pasir Panjang area. And so these are the areas that are surrounding the entire zoning right here. And that is also one of the key reasons why Clementi property prices in terms of both HDB apartments and private properties, they have been maintaining at a very strong rate. And when you move towards Dover, One North, you look at Holland area, you also notice that the prices there tends to be very, very strong. So it is the city fringe area of the west, which is very close to city. It's just that it's on the flip side compared to D15. So both areas has its own pool of audiences. Let's come back a little bit on District 5. So District 5, there has been some very interesting observations. Now, if you were to just go to some very popular portals, you will notice that if you're looking for entry-level landed properties, and what do we mean by entry-level landed properties? It means that the smaller size being the inter-terraces and the corner terraces, you'll notice that for District 5, especially in the Pasir Panjang area, inter-terraces tends to be bigger in size. They are typically around 1,008 to 2,100 square feet in terms of land size, and that will also mean that your overall quantum is slightly higher compared to maybe D15 and D19. Some of the areas and zonings right there, they have a smaller plot size inter-terraces at about 1,006 square feet, 1,005 square feet, or maybe 1,600, 700 square feet in terms of its land plot. So quantum, there's a range and difference in terms of quantum. Performance-wise, is pretty much similar. Right now, D5 and D19, they're quite on par in terms of the performance level. And D15 is actually much higher than D5 right now in terms of per square foot land PSF that has been transacted. So we think that actually D5 has a very good entry position if we are talking about land PSF entry pricing, because by right, based on the positioning on the map, and based on the fact that it's being surrounded by so many redevelopment by URA that's going on around the region. Just imagine if we were to take out the map again, you're near the Haw Villa MRT station, right on this side, NUS, right at your top. If you drive backwards towards the One North region, you actually go through this very curvy road, which a lot of cyclists would like to ride there. And the moment you come up, they'll link you straight on to Kent Ridge as well as One North. And that in Hokkien is called the Gao Zap Gao Wan Thingy. So there's this road that's like winding up slope. And the moment you come out, there's a really One North area. So you're surrounded by so many ongoing, exciting things in Singapore. You're near to Silicon Valley. And at the same time, there's Greater Southern Waterfront and relocation of the port at the bottom. And you're also so close to Vivo City and Sentosa. And thus, we think that District 5 is slightly in a disparity mode right now, because by right, it shouldn't be on par with a D19 kind of performance pricing, as D19 is in the OCR region. And although D19 is one of the very popular landed enclave in Singapore with a lot of transactions because it has so much popularity and audiences, especially for Serangoon Gardens and Kovan and areas within D19. But we think that D5 should actually be on par with D15. But right now, it is still slightly cheaper than the D15 per square foot pricing. So we think that there's definitely opportunity for audiences to enter into the D5 market if you can find something suitable. The only kicker is that some of the properties tend to be larger in terms of quantum. PSF tends to be slightly lower than D5, but quantum tends to be pretty so-called thick in the sense, and due to the larger land plot sizes. So we also think that because of this, the pure landed that's going to be launched by the developer during our webinar is also going to be very interesting, because these are brand new products, new design, and we're going to get something that is of a new construction, new build, and modern finishings and very quality fittings and fixtures. So I think it's going to be very exciting. And only during a rebuild process can the developer really size the land plots correctly, in the sense to ensure that the quantum is beautiful, the overall requirements, having that lift, having enough bedrooms, and all these very important aspects are to be in, so that there's more longevity in the construction of the landed property for the next family. Based on this couple of factors, we think that D5 is going to have a little bit more attention in the next 6 to 12 months. That's all for today's episode. Meantime, do remember to subscribe to our Telegram channels. We have 2 channels right now. One is the main PLB channel, where we announce some of the latest properties for sale, some of the news as well. And then we have a Pure Insights Telegram channel where we share content and research and analysis and reports. And we hope that meantime, stay safe, take care, do take care of yourself and your family, and we see you in the next episode. Cheers. The bell. Okay, done. Great. Okay. Sure. We got to double check on that. Okay.